let's dispense with the formalities and just get going. We got a lot to do. Today you are going to see the new Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette, along with a lot of comparisons and 2 different demos and swatches and 2 separate lights. And you're going to see all that with me, Rebecca. I am a fashion and beauty journalist who has worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, and I've brought Not Fit for Print Beauty here to YouTube so that you have a sort of live beauty magazine to flip through every day or so. All right, so we got a lot to do. You know, this is the new 15 pan palette. I know it's not open right now, but you're going to be seeing a lot of it. Here is the outside. It looks a little bit kind of like the I Need a Nude. She's kind of got that little bit of a theme going with the striped area here. Nice palette, nice and protected. Very, very pretty. For sale at NATASHADENONA.com and Ulta and Sephora. And as always, don't forget to use REBECCACRINGEAN. I put it in the description bar so that you can easily to spell. And you'll get 15% off on the Natasha Denona website. REBECCACRINGEAN for 15% off. We have 15 shades here in warm nudes and rich champagnes and 2 new finishes. This is kind of like the I Need a Nude palette. We'll be doing the comparisons. Was almost like a cooler version of this. And this is where it all started, was the I Need a Nude palette. And then Natasha Denona decided to warm up I Need a Nude. Funnily enough, I Need a Nude wasn't always cool enough for those of us here that consider ourselves part of the cool tone revolution army. This wasn't really cool enough, but regardless, Natasha Denona took it a step warmer with this brand new I Need a Warm palette. And I know people are waiting for I Need a Cool. This is $69, 15 shades. Like I said, we have 2 new finishes. We have a slip cream finish, which is kind of like a talc-free matte shade. And that slip cream is Flash Over, which is right here. And interestingly enough, I have my finger over it now. I'm about to move it. So the shade my finger is over, this one here, taking it off, that is Flash Over, and that is a slip cream talc-free matte. And interestingly enough, you'll see in the swatches, it's got a little bit of a different finish than the normal Natasha Denona mattes, and there are a lot of normal Natasha Denona mattes in this palette. So this one has a little bit more of a slip to it, and it's a little bit more reflective. It's not metallic. I don't mean to give that impression, but it's got a little more of a sheen to it. How about that? Okay, and the other brand new formula that we have, in addition to the regular mattes and metallics, and even a Triachrome edition that's in this palette, you'll see, we also have another new formula called Metal Gloss, and there's 2 of those shades, Homey and Snug. Homey, right here. Put my finger over it. There it is. Homey, and then above it, Snug. So these 2, I know my finger's on it, I'll move it. Snug and Homey right there are 2 of the new Metal Gloss shades. Like I said, along with all of our other favorite formulas from Natasha Denona. Okay, I want to show you the ingredients. Here they are. You might have to freeze this or enlarge it just so you can see everything well enough. But there are the ingredients on there just in case you're just kind of skimming over it to look for something that might give you a migraine or that you're allergic to. Just take a look at that there. But I do want to go to some swatches and some comparisons. Let's do the swatches of just the I Need a Warm palette before we go anywhere else. Take a moment and do make sure that you are subscribed to this channel, as that is the greatest compliment that you can give to me. Okay, let's take a look first in studio lighting. Don't worry, we're going to take it outside too. Here it is as the shades are laid out in the pans. Here is the I Need a Warm palette. It is $69. You can see that Triachrome. I think even, you'll see it maybe better when we take it outside, but you can see it in there. And then, of course, we have those 2 new formulas and all 15 of those shades. And they're such a pleasure to use. Her formulas, no matter which one you're using, always feel so rich, and they do have a bit of a creamy feel, and that might not be ideal for you, but I think it's really a pleasure to use. They blend really, really well. We're going to be demoing 2 different looks with some rougher brushes today, and you'll see how well these shades blend. But in case you couldn't see it well enough, let's go ahead and take this outside into the warm California sunshine. And here you are. Take a look at these as they are laid out in the pan, and that triochrome, that included triochrome, should show pretty well, along with our one slip cream there in the bottom right, and those two metal gloss shades that are brand new. Really pretty. Okay, when we talk about comparisons, boy, my mind went everywhere. I mean, I even thought of one of those Patrick Ta palettes. I think it was the first one, actually. And I was looking at all the Natasha Denona palettes, and there's pretty much shades that are comparable in every Natasha Denona palette. I mean, like, I was looking at Zendo, and I was like, okay, well, you know, yeah. Except there's a lot of kind of burgundies. And I thought, oh, you know, where do we stop? Because these are warm brownish shades, you could go to town with almost every Charlotte Tilbury palette, every Patrick Ta palette. And when you include the minis and just the brand itself, Natasha Denona, my goodness, where does it end? So here's what we're going to do. In the interest of time and in the interest of a few different things, some people love swatch comparisons, some people hate them. Most people that love them need something specific that no matter how slowly I go in a video, they want to request over on Instagram anyway. That's what I do over on Instagram. A lot of swatch comparisons. You can ask me for it here. You can DM me over on Instagram or just put a message under one of the posts on Instagram. That's what I do. So we're going to just do a smattering, if you will, of comparisons. But if it doesn't suit you, if it wasn't on screen for long enough, if you needed one shade looked at more than another, if you want to go to cross brands or another Natasha Denona that I didn't put up here, just ask for it. I'll do it over on Instagram for you. I know when a palette like this comes out, I gotta like do my stretches and get ready. I know, right? I know, cat, cow, or whatever they call it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and start and just do some here. Okay, I am going to look at, of course, we must look at I Need a Nude, which we did look at them next to each other. Let's look at them in the pan first. So here's I Need a Nude. I think they're no comparison, but since I Need a Nude, I'm shaking it upside down, inspired this. I don't think there's a comparison there, but since it inspired it and this one begat this one, I thought we'd compare them. And then I also throw in, since we're kind of dealing, that's a newer Natasha Denona palette, I pulled out the newer golden palette, not gold, but golden. So here's I Need a Nude and here's golden right here. There we go. All right, let's check that out. On top, the biggest palette on top is going to be I Need a Warm. And then underneath it is I Need a Nude. And then underneath that is golden. I wanted to say I need a gold, but that would be weird. Okay, so we got, one more time, we got the warm, I Need a Warm, I Need a Nude, and golden underneath it. Now, I almost did the older gold palette, which isn't made anymore. I can do that over on Instagram if you want. It's pretty much those same similar golden shades, but also with like some blues and stuff, which this doesn't have. And I just thought, like, when is it too many swatch comparisons? And some of you are going to say it never is. We'll take an hour-long swatch comparison video, and others of you are right now using the timestamps. You can't even hear me because you're lost in the timestamps to get past the swatches. You can't please them all, but yet I try. I do try, you guys. Okay, let's look at a few more comparisons here. Here's I Need a Warm. Gotta compare it to Biba. You gotta. Biba is one of those older big palettes. Here's Biba, shaking that upside down. I Need a Warm, our new one. And of course, what would this be if we didn't look at the Natasha Denona bronze palette, right? Right? I mean, talk about warm. This one's actually warmer, the bronze palette. Look at that. Bronze, I Need a Warm. Okay, here we are in studio lighting. We got I Need a Warm, the new one on top, Biba underneath it, and the bronze palette from Natasha Denona underneath that. Do you know what I like about this palette, though? You know, when I mentioned the bronze palette, I said it's even warmer if possible. What I like about this is it is warm, but it doesn't go red. Thank you, Natasha Denona. When it starts getting to where everyone is looking like a lab rabbit, no offense to lab rabbits, they are adorable, the albino bunnies. They're adorable. But when I start looking, it's not like a look I'm going for when I go out. Surprise, surprise. So I do like that this actually doesn't go as warm as the, or as red, as ruddy as the bronze, I should say. Okay, one more grouping. Let's hop into the minis for right now. We are going to compare our brand new I Need a Warm to the mini bronze. That's this one. The mini Biba, which is this one. The mini nude, which is this one. Okay, let's go to those swatches. Well, I kept that I Need a Warm on top, and then underneath it is mini bronze on the left and mini Biba on the right. And the last row, that third row, is the mini nude. And this is where those of you that have been waiting for a specific swatch and haven't seen it yet are going to go, "Dah!" Because that's where I'm going to stop for now. That's a smattering. But like I said, I will do that. I'll do cross brand. I'll zero in on just 2 shades. You know, everybody's got what they can, their budget, you know. So if you need 1 shade really compared to, I got you. So just let me know. And I'm going to get them done faster. Sometimes I wait for the weekend. It is the weekend now here. But you know what I mean. I'm ready to go because I know people are trying to decide whether to buy. Don't forget that if you use code REBECCACRINGEAN as one word on screen and down below, you'll get 15% off at NATASHADENONA.com. But I am linking it everywhere. All right, let's play with this, shall we? I'm going to do 2 looks. I'm not going to do 4, 5, or 6. Why? As I told you, I'm a journalist. I'm not a makeup artist. I might write about the stuff well. I might interview the people. And I might be an insider in that way, but not in terms of application. I'm just like you. So we are going to play around with it ourselves and have a little bit of fun. And so I'll do 2 looks. But let me tell you, I want to use that Triachrome, and I will use the brand new formulations, okay? So I said we'd be using Rephr brushes, so let's start with a Rephr 15, and let's just go right into that brand new Flash Over Slip Cream shade. You can actually put this one on with your fingers if you want to, but I'm just going to put it kind of in the crease. And to me, this is a matte shade, but it's almost like a matte, and if a matte and a satin had a baby, I'm only doing that on this side because we'll do another look on the other eye. It's like if a matte and a satin had a baby. And it just blends so beautifully. Like, I actually wish, and you can tell me if you agree or disagree, I wish all of her mattes were like this, and this is talc free. And a lot of times talc free is a big old L, you know, but this is actually really nice. And in fact, I'm going to take another Rephr brush here, and I'm going to go underneath the eye. This is a Rephr number 2, and I'm going to take that and put that on. And this goes on with the finger too, but yeah, it's just really smooth and like lays beautifully with the skin. So I think thumbs up on that new formula. All right, going back to my Rephr number 15, I do want to use these, but let's just use another matte for now and just kind of darken the outer corner. Okay. And just kind of darken the outer corner like that. All right, very pretty. And then I want to put my finger into this new, I really want to try this new shade. Let's go ahead and try Snug. Snug is one of our new formulations, and I'm going to put Snug all over. Ooh, that packs a punch. Oh, wow. Do you know what's interesting about this? So, as I said to you, this brand new slip cream has a little bit more of a shine to it. And this is very interesting. This new metal gloss, oh, how am I going to describe this in words? You are seeing it, but this new metal gloss almost feels like it's like those chroma flakes from Danessa Myricks, but if they weren't flaked. Like, it's not coming up off the eye. I'm not saying anything bad about Danessa's, I don't mean that. But it's almost like it's got a little bit more of that chrome feeling to it. What do you think? Isn't that pretty? Oh, by the way, for transparency's sake, on my side, I purchased this. I am an affiliate of Natasha Denona, but this is not a gift. So I'm being honest. I would be honest anyway. But I did want to add that in there. People sometimes ask. Okay, so there we go. And we'll compare it to some of her others. But let's go ahead and take Homey. I'm going to take a brush for Homey. That's the other Metal Gloss. And let's go into Homey there. And I'm just going to put Homey in the inner corner and onto the lid a little bit. I am loving, loving these new finishes. Yeah, that's a pleasure to use. That's a thumbs up for me. I know, I never thought I would say that about the matte because it's talc free. And normally, who knew? I guess I'm pro talc. Someone's going to get angry and tell me the problems that talc causes. I know, don't yell at me. I like talc. I like talc. But this is good, and it's a talc-free shade. But Homey and Snug seem really nice, too, actually. I want to try that Triachrome, because it's pretty. All right, let's go back up here, and we'll use some of these other metallics as well. Let me go up into this shade here. Yeah, I'm super, super excited. We're doing a different look, guys. I'm super excited about these new formulations. What a pleasure to use. And now I'm using another matte. I know on the other eye I also used another matte. I'll tell you, in my estimation, that new Slip Cream was a much nicer experience of matte to use. So thumbs up there. Okay, but that's just back to the regular shade. Let's go up here, over here actually, and I'm just going to put this on the eye because this is kind of her normal metallic that we've had, which is very pretty, but I want you to just be able to see the difference, okay? When it looks like this, I just put it on the eye. It's not really the best look, okay? Just don't copy this. There's no artistry here. There's a reason I've thrown this all over the eye, all right? Before you freak out about the look of it. I'm not going out like this. I just want you to see something. I'm going to close my eyes, and this is kind of her regular metallic, sparkly, shadow compared to the new formula, okay? Let me close my eye. Here's one. This is our original, which you have in your other Natasha palettes, and here's kind of that new formulation all over the eye. And also, maybe I'm not playing by the rules here because this eye also has a lot of that new formula matte underneath, which has a bit more movement to it in terms of shine. But anyway, there's the basic comparison for you guys. Okay, and let me just try to fix that up because that's not the best look that I did there. Oops. Okay, that's okay. Let's darken it a little bit. I just wanted to show you that. Okay, that's a little better. There we go. That's a little bit more put together. It's not necessarily the look I do, but again, I'm not about creating an eye look. I'm about testing out formulas. Okay, that toned it down a little bit though, because I want to take my finger and get into this Triachrome shade and put it on. And I am, excuse me, going to really, really layer it on. I love Triachrome. And again, probably not so artfully, but I just want you to kind of see what it looks like when it's on the lid. And there it is compared to that new formula metallic too. I'll move around. Triachrome is tough on camera. It doesn't always reveal itself. But I love Triachromes on the eyes because they just look like you've worked so much harder at your eye look than you have. If you're me, you might work hard at yours. I just like that. Not sure about the actual overall look, but it's kind of pretty. I'm all for this. I am... Like I always say, I'm home to the Cool Tone Revolution Army. And if you don't know what that is people who are so sick of all these warm shades. They even thought the I Need a Nude was too warm to be called neutral. So they're sick of neutrals that are called neutral but are actually warm. And all of these warm, I mean, they let out a just collective groan when they heard I Need a Warm was coming. And I am home to the Cool Tone Revolution Army. Free to join. Just declare yourself a member. Down in comments, give yourself a rank. Why not? Free. I am home to them, but I'm not always a member. I sometimes look dead in cool tones. So I do look better in warm, but when her bronze palette is too warm for me, as I said earlier, when it starts to go really red-brown, it's a little too much. So I actually appreciate this because I Need a Warm is nice and warm without being red. So like the name of this palette for me would be I Need a Warm palette that's not actually going to go too red if you don't mind, because I start looking like I'm having an allergic reaction to somebody bringing in a large Angora cat. But I don't think that that whole title would fit here. So we'll just go with I Need a Warm palette. But it's a pretty one. It really, really is a pretty one. I like the new formulas. like them mixed in with the olden ones too, the ones we're used to. And I like the look. It is warm without being ridiculously reddish warm. And I like that. And I think the new formulas were beautiful to work with. This is a pretty one. Who needs this? Those of you who are like me. You prefer neutrals and you don't mind if it goes a little warm without going too warm. If you have to wear cool shades, there will be some shades in here for you, but not enough, perhaps, to spend $69 on. It's 15% off that, though, if you use REBECCACRINGEAN when you check out at NATASHADENONA.com. Had to get a little pluggy in there. But, you know, you can see that code and all sorts of other cool stuff down below in the description bar, where I also will tell you about our incredibly cool Facebook page, thanks to Helen, who's running that over there, and our membership here live on YouTube. We have so much fun. We have lives every week. I love that group. That is my respite every week, my favorite place to be, with those wonderful people who have joined our membership. But there's also information for finding me on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff. We have a really good time in this community. And don't forget, REBECCACRINGEAN gets you 15% off at NATASHADENONA.com. Details are all down below. And where I can, I will always put this up here in YouTube shopping as well. I think that's at Sephora or Ulta. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let me know your thoughts, please. This is what makes us a community. Are you skipping this? Or can you just not get enough of it? What are your thoughts? And as I said earlier, what comparisons do you need? I am here for you. I'll do those over on Instagram. Ask me here. Ask me on Instagram. Whatever. And I will get those up for you ASAP. It is my pleasure. Please make sure that you like, that you share, and please do subscribe. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.